told me to turn on the radio. Something told me to come here.
She must have sent me here for a reason.
The world is quieter now. We just have to listen. If we listen, we can hear God's plan.
God's plan. All right, let me tell you about your God's plan.
Every single person that you or I has ever known is dead! There is no God. There is no God.
I mean, can you really blame him though?
What you trying to say?
What if all this was a little lie? What if all my sins never met a guy?
All of that suffering, there's really a plan for that. There's design behind this seemingly endless chaos. I mean, surely the story of the divine plan is just a myth we mindlessly believe to help us cope with all the world's evil. A comforting story to keep us from dreading our impending doom. But wait, what if all the cruel injustices are actually the greatest clue we have for leading us toward the meaning of the universe, the great divine plan? What are you trying to say?
Shorty, don't look up to me, I'm not a star. God told me becoming who you are.
Bro, cancer is our version of Hitler. Cancer accounted for 10 million deaths in 2020 alone. That's 26,575 people per day. That's a lot of bodies. But there's hope. This guy, Dr. Neville, has the cure. Imagine having the cure that will potentially save billions of lives. Only problem is his cure, instead of saving billions of lives, ended the lives of billions. In the aftermath of the outbreak that he caused, as far as he's aware, 5.4 billion people died. That's 90% of the world's population, my king. Included in that population are the people he cherished most. His reason for living, if you will. He found a new reason to live in the family dog, Sam. But spoiler alert, Sam gets snuffed. And it's in this perfect despair, the blood of billions in his hands, the death of his only friend, the haunted, empty alleyways where every echo marks his failure. It is in this perfect despair where this kind stranger dares to utter those words. God has a plan. So this crash out is totally warranted. Our brother, Dr. Neville, is literally all of us.
Bro, what are you going on about?
Dr. Neville believes in the existence of evil and is broken by its effects, a sentiment all of us have probably shared. And naturally, all of this evil leads us to conclude, as Neville has, that the existence of an all-powerful God who's maximally good is impossible. Like how? But ironically, the existence of evil points to God's existence. I'm sorry. The story of good and evil and the story of God stand or fall together.
When they see me, they know that's up. I got God, he filling my cup.
Let's try and break that down real quick.
The evils of Lucy were all around me.
Sorry, Hitler, but I'm have to use you to make a point again. If there is no God, then what Hitler did was just a matter of opinion. And if at least one thing is really morally wrong, like it's wrong to torture babies, or it's wrong to intentionally fly planes into buildings with innocent people in them, then God exists. And here's why. So, moral law is determined by lawmakers. Morality is determined by a mind or a collection of minds. Think Eastern culture versus Western culture, barbarians versus bougie. And what one culture uses their minds to decide is wrong might be different to another culture. Some sects of Hindus, for instance, don't kill cows because of reincarnation. They don't want to risk killing grandma. And out here in the non-Hindu world, we chop up cows all day because of that taste. And that's to be expected. We all have different cultural contexts and traditions which inform our morality. But if there's something morally wrong, regardless of the culture or time, in other words, there's a moral law that transcends time or culture, then if moral laws are the result of moral law makers, the moral law that transcends time or culture is the result of a moral law maker that transcends time or culture. And a moral law maker that transcends time and space is another way of saying a personal being that is spaceless, timeless, and consequently all-powerful. Basically, torturing babies is always wrong because it goes against the eternal standard of good that is grounded in the lawmaker that transcends time and culture, the eternal mind.
That's all. That's life. That's life.
So the existence of evil doesn't disprove God, because God is the transcendent standard of good by which we can identify evil. C.S. Lewis once noted, when we call this universe unjust and cruel, what are we comparing our universe to? One can't have an idea of a crooked line unless they have an idea of a straight line. And finally, without evil and suffering to overcome, there is no way to foster virtues such as courage, love, and humility. What if the purpose of the universe is not to maximize human happiness, but to build virtuous souls in preparation for the next world? And in the climax, we see the development of courage, love, and humility in our protagonist as he sacrifices himself so that his friends can escape with their lives, and the cure that he created, which will be used to heal the majority zombie population, eventually saving the world. So, you're right to mourn, Dr. Neville, because evil is real, and you're right to fight for love, virtue, and justice, because death is not the end.
You don't recognize that? Wow. He had this idea. It was kind of a virologist's idea. He believed that you could cure racism and hate, literally cure it, by injecting music and love into people's lives. One day he was scheduled to perform at a peace rally. Gunmen came to his house and shot him down. 2 days later, he walked out on that stage and sang. Somebody asked him why. He said, the people who are trying to make this world worse are not taking a day off. How can I? Light up the darkness.
When they see me, they know that it's up. I got it, filling my cup. Fell in love with God, I'm stuck. Yeah, I'm stuck. Put it on when I step out the crib. From the look, so you know how I live. Just say me, I know that for sure. Got his hand and he won't let me go. Gotta graduate, get to the bag. Can't focus in school when I'm sad. I'm adjusting, I'm hurting inside. R.I.P. to the realest alive. God, I know you see through me like window. Holy Spirit blow on me, Nintendo. I was looking at you, was in front of me. Now I'm rooting in you, that's a family tree.
Give me what I'm looking for, one thing I've been searching for. Felt like you was hiding from me, whole time you was vibing with me. We can't see but we're looking for
your love, your love, your love, your love.
God, they've been looking everywhere for
Your love,
God, they've been looking everywhere for
your love.